Hello, I'm Yiming, and I'm from Doherty Valley High School in San Ramon. I am an incoming sophomore, and my project is the MIDI controller. So here is my controller. It is a cardboard box, and you can see there's a bunch of buttons and stuff. So these are just the normal notes. These are some sliders here, the potential meters, some other buttons to change the settings. Now, this box actually took pretty long time to make. The box, I just got some from like food packaging, but to cut up the holes, I didn't have the right tool, so I just used a really small scissor to cut up the holes. So this one ended up being kind of wobbly, but the other ones are all pretty stable. So yeah, I had to leave the slider thing outside instead of inside because I didn't know how to put it inside. So this is just on the outside, but it works. So that's the box. Now the inside of the box, get it? It's a bunch of wires and the board. So the green, yellow, blue, and white wires all go into their individual pins, which means they do whatever they want to do. The red ones are all connected up, and they go into the ground. The black ones go into the 5 volts, and they're only for the potential meters. So there's that. The soldering process was very hard for me because I didn't have any experience before this, and I'm actually extremely scared of heat for some reason. So yeah, but I got better at it over time because there's a lot to solder here. The hardest ones to solder for sure were the potential meters, which you need to hold 2 wires at the same time to solder. Because if you don't, well, the one that you soldered before, the iron's just gonna fall off because they melt, and you have to redo it until you get it, and then it's just a hard process to do. So you have to do them 2 at a time, and that's really hard, but eventually got all of them down. So there's that. Now, on to the main part, which is the sound. So, here is the code for everything that I did. Basically, setup is just this stuff. I just had a pin mode for each of the pins. Loop, I just ran all the function. This is basically the same as the last milestone, except I added more buttons. I removed the debounce, and the reason for that is because for some reason last time I had the button go to 5 volts instead of ground. So for this one I also first had the red wires go into the 5 volts instead of ground, and that didn't work because there is no state when the button is not pressed down. So sometimes they just play some random notes, and also when you press it down, some other notes also play at the same time. So eventually I got that. That took a very, very long time to figure out, but eventually got that. So yeah, this works now, and then every time I press it down, it sends out this MIDI message, which will then be going to the hairless MIDI. Now once you have your hairless MIDI open, you can just go into your music program and you can start playing notes. So there's that. You can also change the octaves. Yep. You can also change the instruments. The volume. You can also change some add-ons as well, which is cool from the 3 potential meters. And this doesn't only work for this program, by the way. You can go to any program. And as you can see, any program that supports MIDI is going to work. Isn't that cool? So yeah, that's basically my project. And yeah,